Mm.
Holiday cheers.
Holiday cheers indeed. Past Christmas, on the cusp of the new year. I think we're in a good spot here right now. I'm good to go if you're good.
Probably.
Should we just roll with it then?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Are we colding right now?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. And that's fine.
Can I see that bottle of gin again?
Absolutely.
Gin
This
again?
bottle is The Botanist,
The Botanist. Ugh.
which we'll definitely touch upon once we're legit recording here.
Right.
Tell
What
you-
the fuck are all these words on here?
I have no idea. I wondered the same thing and then lost interest, but I'll probably...
These must be the island bonicles.
Bonicles?
A bonicle.
Bonicles?
Ah, Jesus.
Oh my god,
I
yeah.
can't even blame that one on drinking. I'm just stupid.
Nah, that'll be highlight number 1 of the year review. What's everybody?
Fucking bonicles.
Or what's everybody? Bonicles. Boticles.
Botanical.
Barnacles.
These are the barnacles. They scrape them off a boat and make gin out of them.
You know what? If they did, those are the tastiest barnacles I've ever had, if not the only. But then again, to quote Phil Anselmo, tastes like one of my ex-girlfriends.
Count us in.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody?
Woo!
Here we are for another episode. The last one of the year.
That's right. Of one more last time with your boy Chadwick Von Tippitt and Joshua 40 the Hard Way Lee Johnson. What the hell are we doing then? Please set some kind of template, Chad.
We're just going to review what went on this year. And
Like our podcast or just overall?
Sure, just whatever.
Okay. Well,
because we just come in and we don't know what we're fucking doing.
Well, this is where I'm going to queue up YouTube and go to our playlist just so I can remember what the hell we did. Because if I'm not mistaken, the year started off with Pink Floyd Animals.
It could have.
I think it did. We're going to find out here in a few seconds. All right. Let me look at my handy-dandy episode guide here. October Rust. Pink Floyd Animals. I'm gonna wager the bet. I'm gonna say Pink Floyd Animals was the first podcast of the year.
We didn't get 12 in, did we?
Okay, I'm gonna do the typical count with your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we did not. We got 7.
This will make 8.
Yep, this will be 8. My favorite number.
Great. We'll just chalk it up to COVID like everything else. All the other shortcomings everything's had this year.
COVID. Oh God, yeah, COVID. COVID with the new, was it Omicron? The new scarier sounding variant as opposed to Delta, which almost sounded kind of fun.
Well, Delta sounds like fucking Chuck Norris movie.
Yes, thank you. Chuck Norris and then the airline. But yeah, you can't tell me you didn't think of
Chuck
Delta.
Norris stars it in COVID Delta Force.
Chuck Norris doesn't get COVID. COVID gets Chuck Norris.
We could only wish and hope that were the case.
I know, it would be a done deal.
Done.
And it'd be the greatest meme of all time, I suppose.
We should push that.
So let's do a little background here. What are we drinking? Because
Well, you brought the gin.
I did.
One I haven't seen before.
And what's that gin called?
The Botanist.
The Botanist. And gee, let's see what connection could I possibly have made with that.
Well, of course, it's going to be a sleep reference.
Yep, which is a sleep song, The Botanist. And yes, that's absolutely why I bought gin on purpose this time as opposed to the first podcast where I bought it accidentally. And I gotta tell you, it's not bad.
Yeah, something wrong with your vodka, man.
Yeah, it's gin.
Well, the worst part is, how long did it take us to realize that?
Half that pint.
Fuck.
Half that pint, and I think I just accidentally read it. I just kept going. Now, your contribution is Shiner Holiday Cheer. And this stuff, I'm not this type of beer drinker at all, but this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we kind of splurged over the holiday and bought a bunch of alcohol, and because I've been off this week.
Right.
And I mostly drank a bunch of those, what is it, Parrot Bay margaritas?
Really?
Or Bay something. I can't
No, I
remember.
got you.
You know what I mean.
Parrot Bay, yeah.
Parrot Bay. They come in a can or a bottle.
Right.
I was drinking Talls.
God, Talls, yeah, guy I work with, one of my carpool guys, he picked up I think it was 6-pack or something for on the way home. Not to drink on the way home, but for when he got home. And he shows me, he's like, dude.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Damn well I have to.
Not to Not to drink on the way home, but when you get home.
Right. But no, they were talls. I'm like, I sent you a picture of them. I'm like, dude, the fucking Nody remembered the talls.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to tell him.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink of this beer yet.
This is my first try with it. I'm sold on it, man. It's delicious.
Peaches and pecans.
I'm not catching the pecans, but man, I'm catching the peaches. And normally when
Yeah.
they brew beer with fruit, it's either two dogs sweet or it's like imperceptible.
This has got a perfect balance of bitterness.
It does. It's unbelievable. In fact, I may have to remember this. Grab a batch of it for on the way home. I think Nicole likes the peaches. I think anyway.
Peaches come from a can.
Oh Jesus, no. Fucking Presidents of the only good song that band did was the theme song for the Drew Carey show, Cleveland Rocks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fine. You know what? While we're at the confessional booth here, I like the song Lump, and I can't even apologize for it.
That's fine.
But anyway,
it was the 90s pop music. You can't blame guys for trying.
You can't really, and as time goes by, no, I don't really have more of an appreciation for it. I still cannot stand Oasis, and my mind is blown at how big they got playing that really depressing music. There was nothing uplifting about what they did. The only reason I even followed them anyways is because I knew they were such cokeheads. Which, segue, did you happen to catch the preview of the Cobra Kai new season?
No, I just got an email saying it's coming out on Friday.
It is. And
I still haven't watched all of 3 yet because I'm busy.
Well, understandably so, but anybody that's listening to this and doesn't want spoilers, go fuck yourself. You're listening to the wrong podcast. But don't really do that. We love you. Anyway,
But mostly fuck you.
Yeah, in a sense. But anyway, no, we last night we happened upon a special screening of episode number 1 for season 4.
All right.
Terry Silver plays heavily into this season. For those that don't remember, he was the Steven Seagal knockoff from Karate Kid Part 3. A cartoonishly diabolical evil character. To the point of almost a lack of suspension of disbelief. Nobody can be this evil. This is just ridiculous. But then they go into his backstory, as they've done with that series, which is great. And I'm ashamed of myself that I never factored what could have made him so diabolical until he said it in this episode. He was a coke addict. Yeah, I'm embarrassed that I, the drug-obsessed guy, didn't think to want to say, yeah, this guy's a cokehead. No, I didn't think anything of it, but as soon as he said, well, I was just this ravaging cocaine-addled, I'm like, cocaine, of course! No wonder this guy's sitting in a jacuzzi half the time and he talks to these teenagers in a bubble bath about his evil plans to thwart Daniel LaRusso. Cocaine! And I always wondered, what did this guy do for a living to become so fucking filthy rich? He's a fucking dope dealer. There's no way around it.
Because 80s.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what he said. It was the 80s, and I was this coke-addled, revenge-seeking madman who was trying to wreak havoc on a high school kid. It's like, holy shit. Cocaine. That's what did it. So yeah, I blew it for you, but I don't care. Terry Silver was a coke addict during that period of time.
You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
So, I'm double fisting now.
You are a madman.
Well, I poured myself the botanist.
Right.
And threw in a splashy Rockstar energy drink there. I don't even know. What is... Hey. What flavor is that?
Orange.
Orange.
Yep, that was my poor man's version of gin and juice. Didn't want orange juice, needed a little pick-me-up, so grabbed an orange Rockstar and a bottle of the Botanist, and hey, gin and juice. Now I gotta think of a wacky name for this. Something sleep-related.
40 the hard way?
The Aquarian.
The Aquarian.
This is the Aquarian. Yeah, 40 the hard way. No, I'm 40 the hard way.
Yeah, but if you were a drink, what would it be?
If I was a drink, what would I call myself if I was a drink?
Would it be like a Boilermaker, but the beer is a Heineken?
God, I don't know, because I already invented the Nasty Woman, which was a very, very lazy way of making a Moscow Mule. Vodka and ginger ale. Yeah, the Nasty Woman.
The Nasty Woman.
The Nasty Woman.
I like a Moscow Mule.
I love me some mules, I really do. Especially the variations that they can do with different flavored vodkas. The Raspberry Mule is unbelievable, but I'm forever sold on the Pear Mule. Absolute pears, yeah. I'm going to bottle that at home.
Every time someone mentions the flavored vodka, I just think of like the peppered flavored one.
Yes. You know what I always think of when people mention a blanket mention of flavored vodkas? Ozzy. And behind the music where, was it Mick Wall was talking about the night that he killed Sharon. Apparently the promoters of the Moscow Peace and Music Festival gave him a fucking plethora of flavored vodkas to take home with him.
Oh.
And then Ozzy finds the vodka and he says, yes, there it is. Outstanding. That's what I think of when I think of. And oddly enough, though, the first flavor I always think of is pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah. Well, that's your Bloody Marys and everything else.
Yeah. Probably about the only thing.
What do you mean the only thing?
The only thing you would drink it with is a Bloody Mary. What else?
Pepper vodka?
I mean, you wouldn't do it straight, maybe.
I would do it straight, but...
If you're drinking it straight, it definitely reminds me of that scene in Back to the Future 3 where...
Oh, God, yes.
They fucking give Doc the wake-up juice.
He just likes to hold it. Yeah, the wake-up juice. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so what am I watching? Cobra Kai Season 4. And yeah, it's already started off brilliant. Terry Silver was a cocaine addict, and I'm just pissed that I didn't think of that theory. Even though I've spent my time doing fan fiction with where could the show go now. Terry Silver is Miguel's father. There's no getting around it. And I think Mike Barnes is fucking, oh God, I had Barnes in there somewhere. Tori's father, I think. Yeah. Or, God, we were even thinking of one last night to where, God, I forget where we went with it. No, Mike Barnes is Kyler's father. Because they're the same type of insufferable, complete, total bastards that only could have come from that kind of DNA. That's what I think. I think Mike Barnes is Kyler's father. But I also wonder if he's not Tori's father. Because those two, you think script-wise, they're begging for a hookup, but yet there's none of that vibe between those two.
I think it's amazing. This is like your man opera.
It is! It is! The guy who never watched TV, who looked down on people who got wrapped up in television, I'm fully engulfed in Cobra Kai. I can't help it.
I don't blame you.
It's just, I tell you what, something well done deserves at least a mention of it, if not your full attention. And it's got my attention. Has for, 4 years now.
It's definitely rad. I don't have the time. Rad as fuck. Don't have the time to watch anything. I watched a few. I've been off this week, so I watched a few things.
Right. I'm lucky enough for that. I worked night shift for the first 2 years that show was out, and then, well, amazingly enough, I have a 12-year-old daughter who loves Cobra Kai. You fucking right. Score. Can we watch this? Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anything to keep away from the weird YouTube videos I've been engulfed in lately.
So I watched the Metallica 40th anniversary.
Oh, how was
concerts. So it was 2 nights.
All right.
Different set lists each night.
I did see that. Oh God, what? Trapped Under Ice. They played that.
Oh yeah,
that's
good.
right.
That's good. I like it when they play that. They hardly play that song.
Well, I remember when they were doing the anniversary shows for Ride the Lightning, and Escape was the song that came up.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
I love the song. Hatebreed covered it, if I'm not mistaken, and did well with it.
Really?
Yeah. No, it was good, Chad, because I didn't know it was Hatebreed until they said at the end. And I dug it up to that point, and I thought, you know what? I can't hate this because I'm not a fan of the band. It was well done.
I'll have to check it out, but I just cannot stand that band.
I understand. I don't have an aversion to them so much. It's just they're just kind of they don't affect me one way or the other.
Yeah. You ever see that Jamie Josta podcast?
No, I have not.
Oh. Well, when I say see, I mean you can watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
And he has a bunch of different guests on there and whatnot.
Hey man, he was in a band with Kirk Weinstein. That's instant points.
Yeah.
You got it.
I want to say he's been on one. Jimmy Bauer was on one.
Was he?
Yeah.
Nice.
The one I watched most recently, Brent Hines was on there.
I got you.
And that's the episode where he was like, "Yeah, fucking Disturbed sucks."
And you know what? I read that whole thing, and I gotta say, I'm not a Disturbed fan. Just personal preference, but I think David Draymond handled that like a champ.
Yeah.
He absolutely did. He didn't talk shit right back. In fact, he almost deferred to him. I thought it was like, you know what? If you want to look up definition of the high road, he really took it.
Yeah.
He did not take the bait. He just said, hey, I didn't even know what he said. I just walked away from the interview feeling like I have nothing bad to say about David Draymond after this, good on him. But, and it's very on brand for Brett Hines to talk smack like that, Like the way you feel about Jamie Josta, I feel about Brett Hines. Just rubs me the wrong way. Probably because he's so unapologetic about being such an insufferable prick. Like when he got that head injury.
Yeah.
That happened as a result of being sucker punched. He flat out says, yeah, so I was whipping my shirt around and it hit somebody. It's not like, you know what? I pissed somebody off and got hit. It was, I was just being me and, if you don't like it, fuck you. Well, no, somebody else said fuck you right back and you wound up in the fucking hospital. Own the fact that you kind of started it, dude.
Yeah. I just thought that was hilarious because I saw Disturbed on Ozfest.
I did too, and for about 5 minutes I lost interest.
Well, of course, but why were they on main stage? I'll never understand that. I
saw them on the second stage.
I will maintain. So I went 2001.
Okay, I didn't go that year.
I will maintain that was the shittiest lineup
I
have ever seen.
That's why I didn't go. Down was literally the only band I wanted to see that year.
Well, I wanted to go so bad because it was the original Black Sabbath lineup.
Okay, which I saw them in 99 on that, so
yeah.
I was like, whatever.
So that was the first time I saw them.
Okay, I got you. And yeah, I remember that too. That was the beginning of my philosophy of sometimes some things are better left to memory. Yeah, it was cool to say, hey, I saw these guys in the flesh, but I was like, okay, this is a long way from the 70s when they were frightening and virtuosos and everything. Ozzy is just a goofball at this point, which is kind of his shtick now.
Right.
But Bill Ward was the one that I thought, you know what? He's adequate, but he's not the octopus that he was in the 70s. And he shouldn't be expected to be, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I could go back and watch videos and probably be a lot more satisfied than this. Just how I felt.
I don't know. I thought it was a good performance.
No, it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It was not bad. Just, there's a certain level of expectation as a fan that you could find yourself wrapped up in and not realize it until it happens. It's kind of like how I view Rush, right? Never saw Rush live. Never got to see him. I'm not disappointed by that. Because the Rush I like is the 70s Rush. They're not going to sound like that in 2007. It's cool to say, hey, I saw Neil Peart in the flesh and he's still amazing, but it's not what I had built up in my head, So I'm just like, you know what? I didn't see this and I can live with it.
See, I don't want to say that I was disappointed by ZZ Top.
Okay.
Right? Because I got to see them.
Right.
I was a little disappointed by their set list.
Right. We talked about this.
And what's funny I saw some on the YouTube. I saw a couple of live performances.
Pause quick. Did you just say the YouTube?
The YouTube.
Okay, we'll digress into that later. Right,
don't worry about it. I'm old.
No, we're Midwestern. Go on, though. I don't want to get you off track.
So I saw the video footage of them playing in, like, Council Bluffs or something.
Okay.
Recently, like as recent as November.
Okay, so with the different bass player.
Yeah, with a different bass player. And they fucking played Brown Sugar.
Oh!
And that's what I wanted them to play when I saw them at the Surf.
Dude, that'd be like you telling me they played Pan Am Highway Blues.
Yeah.
I would make it my mission to hole up in the garage and invent a time machine just so I could go back and watch that.
I mean, it was good.
Sure.
It's just there's no Dusty Hill.
Right, and that's the other thing with me, too, is like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to go see him again. I got to see him, the original guys. I don't want that to be the last time I see ZZ Top without Dusty.
That's what I felt about B.B. King. So I saw B.B. King in like 2000 or something.
Really? Because I saw him in 2000, I want to say 12.
Yeah, so when he went to the Surf, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Was he there twice or one time?
I think twice.
Okay, so I missed it the first time, but the second time I bought tickets.
In 2000?
No. In 2000, I saw him on the Riding with the King tour with Eric Clapton.
You saw Clapton?
I did not see Clapton. He had the night off, the show I went to.
Dude!
But they performed that song because they did that, that
Sure.
those songs together.
Okay.
They still performed the song. They just had some other dude playing the Clapton parts.
I got you.
But so that was my first real concert.
Really?
Yeah, B.B. King.
I'll tell you what, you got a better resume than I do. Do you want to hear what my first real concert was?
Hall & Oates.
I wish. No, I always tell everyone that my first rock concert was Motley Crue. That's not quite accurate. The first actual, in the flesh, full production rock concert I ever saw was the Newsboys. Now, who are the Newsboys, you may be asking? Christian rock. And Christian pop, really.
Does that count?
It does, because you know what? It was a full production. It was a band signed to some semblance of a label. Yeah, it counts. I may not want it to count, but it counts. I was 15, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And about the only consolation I have is my brother-in-law was at that same show. Long before we knew each other. But yeah. And my dad and my Uncle Bob have kind of the same story. They were both at the same Aerosmith, Rush, and Angel concert. That my Uncle Bob remembers vividly. My father only remembered Aerosmith because he was passed out, indisposed, in the middle of Rush and Angel.
Oh, boy.
And I'm more disappointed that he couldn't tell me about seeing Angel live. A 70s relic that apparently had an amazing live show, but nobody has ever caught it on film. Ever.
Huh.
Yeah, well, the whiskey must have been a bit more important. And that's cool. That's cool. But anyway, so let's get back to some semblance of a thing here. So yeah, our first podcast was animals. And you picked that, I think, or we mutually did, and you couldn't have picked a better way to start off 2021.
No shit.
Because it was just like a holdover from 2020.
It was almost dystopian.
Almost.
Everybody was...
We were all attached to computers, locked away in our homes, wearing masks out in public. This wasn't dystopia. This was reality.
I'm essential, so...
am I, evidently.
So I got to work every single day of the week. My life didn't change. It was really weird.
Mine really didn't.
So that was the first year I was on first shift.
Oh, okay.
So like,
it was my second year.
My life didn't change from third shift to first shift because it was like, when I worked third shift, nothing was open anyway.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
So I was like, I didn't miss anything.
No, and I see what you're saying, which for my part, I've maintained for a while that the pandemic and the resulting lockdown couldn't have happened at a better time for me personally, because I just turned 40. I needed an excuse to be doing what I should have been doing years ago. Stay home with the family and quit trying to go out all the time.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, the bars are closed. Okay. Oh, drag. I can't go to the bar anymore. And then restaurants were closed. Okay, cool. We're not blowing $100 a shot just to take everybody out to eat. It reevaluated the priorities. And for that, I think it's great. Honestly, that was the bright side.
It revealed a lot of things.
Or did it ever? In other words, how much do you like the person you're stuck at home with?
Well, that's not what I was getting at, but
okay.
I was getting at or like the regular 40-hour work week isn't necessary.
Evidently not, and
there's a whole lot of you can work from home.
Right, and you've heard about the Great Resignation that happened this year?
Hell yeah, I was almost part of it, man.
Well, and honestly, it was a long time coming just because, number one, pay people what they're worth.
Well, let me interject there for a second.
Please.
I started to see how underpaid I am in my position.
Right.
And I'm going, wait a fucking minute here. I'm quote-unquote essential.
Essential, yeah.
And then I'm not getting paid worth of shit.
Well, it was
but they gave a couple of bonuses to us. But it's like,
throw them a fish.
What the fuck?
Well, and that's exactly what the country collectively figured out. And I thought it was great just because finally it's like, no. Basically the people saying to the corporations, you need us now. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. So that pushed that $15 minimum wage real fast.
Well, it fucking should have.
Yeah, you're right. It should have.
And I've gotten in several debates with people I work with, people I respect, who have said, why are they paying people from McDonald's $15 an hour? And my counterpoint is, have you seen the average age of people working there anymore?
Oh, it's not fucking teenagers.
No, it's not. I mean, there are teenagers that work there, but you know what? There are people older than us, and that's their job. You know, and everyone says, oh, well, why didn't they learn a trade? Maybe they couldn't. Maybe they just didn't have the mindset.
Not everybody wants to learn a trade.
No.
You know? That's what makes us special.
I fell ass backwards into my trade, and I've never forgotten.
I also fell backwards into mine.
Right, and you know what? I don't think you got lucky. I think you have the skills to pay the bills, if you will. I think that's just part of your makeup. Me?
Yeah, that's what pisses me off, because I can create something from nothing, and I think that I deserve a higher wage.
Oh, and for all the listeners here, probably the I don't want to say greatest, but probably the most thought out and unexpected yet so on brand birthday gift I got this year. I got two of them that stand out in my mind. The first one I'm going to say right now was Chad decided to call my bluff in that anybody that's taken any kind of notes literally on this podcast has heard me reference Chad as the Pepper Keenan of North Iowa, because he's the type of guy that'll wake up and build a birdhouse just for something to do. Now, that was the grand joke, because you're the type of guy that'll build a guitar for something to do, or a pedal. No, get a knock on the door the day before my birthday, and it's Chad and his adorable little daughter. Chad's holding a birdhouse. A homemade birdhouse. I just stared at it and went, get the fuck out of here. This is great. And it's on the mantle in my house right now.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does. That's the damn thing. Chad completely called my smart-ass bluff. He built a birdhouse for something to do. That something to do just happened to be my birthday.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chad.
Let me tell you.
What do you got?
I've got less than half an hour in that fucking birdhouse.
What?
Yeah.
That was a total slapdash. Jesus.
Yeah,
that's amazing for a half an hour.
Yeah, so
I'd spend a half an hour staring at a 2x4 trying to figure out what to do with it.
So I had some wood that I repurposed. You know, it was some kind of like
repurposed
fucking shipping crate I took from work, because I was like, I bet I could build a pedal board out of this.
Exactly. One man's trash is another man's project.
So it was sitting there, and
Sure.
I was looking at it, and I was like, man, that looks like a rough birdhouse, you know? One of those rustic-looking birdhouses.
Right.
So it took me all of 5 minutes to cut the wood.
God.
I just, kind of eyeballed it.
That place will always... That place... Yeah, who's drunk now? No, that birdhouse will always have a place in my house somewhere of prominence. It's on the mantle right now.
The coolest part about it is it could serve as an actual functioning birdhouse if you put a hole in it.
Right, and I don't think I haven't been debating on that for a while now.
Yeah, but it looks cool. It has that knot.
The knot is what does it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't drill a hole in the front.
No, shit, no, man. No, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be like, well, I only spent half an hour on your gift, but...
That's not even humble bragging, you're stating facts.
I'm just saying, I had some rustic-looking wood laying around, and
you did something useful with it.
Couple of cuts later, and...
There you go. Happy birthday.
Fucking nail gunned it together.
Nicely done. No, that was awesome. The other gift I got was a full circle gift, and this just gives me an opportunity to ramble for a minute. One of the other gifts I got came, quote-unquote, from Annie, my daughter, which means her mother bought it and then told Annie to give it to me. I think I even wrapped the thing. No, Annie wrapped it. But anyway, I got a vinyl copy of Bob Seger Live Bullet, right? His live album from 76. I'd seen this thing in Walmart. They'd remastered, reissued, blah, 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 it on red vinyl even.
Ooh.
And I looked at it, and I was shopping with Nicole. I think it was on my birthday, actually. Went shopping, and I saw that. I said, I kind of always wanted that album. She grabbed it. I said, really? She goes, yeah, I'm going to tell Annie to give it to you. I said, all right. She said, well, why do you want Bob Seger? Why this album? I said, well, funny you should ask, because on my 11th birthday, that would have been the year Nicole and I actually met when we were kids. Like I said, it's all connected. On my 11th birthday, I got a Walkman and a cassette of that album, Live Bullet.
Now, hold your thought there.
Please.
I think this is funny because earlier today I had Night Moves stuck in my head.
No, that's telepathy, and that's fine. But no, the reason why that meant so much to me was because I got the Walkman and that cassette for my birthday that year when I turned 11, which makes little sense when you consider the fact that I turned 11 in 1990. Bob Seger, especially his 70s stuff, was not popular really for anybody at that point, least of all a fucking 11-year-old whose friends and people he knew were all listening to Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer. as you could probably guess, I was not well liked in school in any fucking capacity, but that was like the one thing I listened to over and over until I wore the damn cassette out. I just loved it. And then eventually, abandoned it or whatever. But yeah, as soon as I saw that vinyl, I was like, in a real cheesy, hyperbolic way, whatever, just it all of a sudden brought me back to the magic of when I just loved music for music. And I didn't care if it was popular or not. I didn't care anything about except for the fact that I love the way this sounds and I want to hear it over and over. It wasn't like what music would be to me later. It's like, oh, what drugs were they on when they made it? Or, what can I do with it? No, it was just, I fucking just loved listening to that piece of work. And yeah, so as soon as I got the vinyl, I put it back on when I got home, and it's like, it just kind of the old feeling came back of just loving music for music. Kind of like when you introduced me to Sleep, when you said it made me love music all over again, just to be a fan.
Yeah.
Which, going to gifts, I'll skip to your usual, did you get any new vinyl between the last podcast and this one? I did. I finally managed to procure a copy of Sleep live at Third Man Records. Or I should say Nicole did. She had to order it from England off eBay.
Yeah, dude, I had to do that for NOLA.
No, what?
Yeah.
I found my copy in Chicago.
Well, I didn't go to Chicago.
Actually, that was another birthday present, actually.
I wish I had, but I bought it. I think no. I am wrong about that. It wasn't NOLA. It was Dirt.
Dirt. Okay,
I had to buy my copy of Dirt.
Dude, you could have found that at Toontown in Minneapolis or in Mankato. My stepson bought it. He owns that.
On vinyl?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, dude, that's all the kid buys now is vinyl.
Well, I found Facelift, no problem. But I couldn't find Dirt for the life of me.
Huh.
But I don't get around. I don't travel enough.
I don't know if I travel too much or not enough, but yeah. Yeah, so Sleep live at Third Man Records. Dude, this is such a fanboy's dream come true. 4 slabs of vinyl, all of them different colors. Comes with a fucking poster from the gig, and then a patch commemorating the gig.
Sweet.
How lose yourself in a fucking gift can you possibly get? Me. I mean, I'm reading the fucking etchings on the runoff of the albums, and they all get progressively stranger. But yeah, it's amazing. In fact, I'll tell you what, next time you come to the pad, we're putting that on.
All right, sounds good.
And on vinyl, I know you're going to see Sleep in April.
Hell yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
So they're only playing 3 shows.
And I still keep holding out the hope that they extend it.
They're not.
I know. Like I said, I keep holding out the hope. I know it's fruitless.
So in the States, anyway, they're only playing those 3 shows. And it's weird because it's Denver, Colorado Springs, and fucking like Albuquerque or something.
The Albuquerque one I can't figure out.
Or Santa Fe. Something like that.
It's New Mexico.
That's on 420.
Yeah, they're doing the 420 one in New Mexico?
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe Roswell. Probably the fucking Roswell connection.
I don't know. Peyote?
Peyote was going to be my second guess. You know they're going to be just blown. But yeah, the Colorado dates make sense. Gee, what could the connection be?
Yeah, so...
And Pike actually talked about that at one point. Why touring was such a pain in the ass. And he flat out said because it's legal in half the states, the other half it isn't.
Right.
And that was high on fire. But...
So I got a little greedy, and I was like, maybe I'll do both shows. Maybe I'll do Denver and Colorado Springs.
Did you?
Well, I was going to.
Oh, all right, go on.
So, I already bought the tickets for Colorado Springs. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Doug.
Dude, I wish I was going.
So I was like, dude, should we go both nights? So we were kind of toying with the idea.
Sure.
And then I was like, all right, he hasn't gotten back to me. I should just fucking buy tickets anyway. So when I went to go buy tickets, they were sold out.
Okay.
Well, no, are they? Fuck.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I know the Colorado Springs show sold out.
You know damn well they are. Because, I mean, Sleep's one of those awesome cult bands that people like you and I know about. Nobody else does. But the people that know,
yeah, they know. They know.
And they're going to get in. Dude, we were almost there. Me and Nicole were going to. And
yeah.
I pulled the plug on it, actually.
So my plans have changed. Like, I was going to get a flight.
Okay.
What's
going on?
It's sold out. The flight I was going to get on was sold out.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
So I could travel to Des Moines or Minneapolis and get on a flight,
Sure.
But then when you calculate the dollar amount, I can just fucking rent a car and drive there. It's a 12-hour drive.
Well, that's what wife and I were originally going to do before we were like, nah.
Yeah. So,
I had to be responsible and say no.
I'm thinking I'm going to rent an SUV and just fucking drive there.
Dude, take me with you even if I'm not going to the show.
Shit.
No, that was one of the reasons why Nicole and I eventually said no. It's just factoring the time off work, and then since both of us were going to go, okay, who's going to take care of the kid? And
right.
This whole 40 the hard way, you're damn right 40 the hard way. It sucks. You have to think about all this shit.
Yeah, so my excuse is it's for my birthday.
Excuse? That's a reason. That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
Happy birthday is what I say.
It's probably going to be pretty awesome.
I know it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be totally the guy fanboying you going, dude, fucking tell me everything. What was it like? How bad was the volume? Could you see Matt Pike's tattoos? I'm going to be that guy. And I'm not even ashamed of it. I don't care. My big thing for you, though, what I want you to get back to me on is the volume.
Oh, I'm sure. It's going to be fucking AC/DC loud.
It'll be obscenely loud. I'm just wondering what your perspective is going to be on how well did that work as far as sound-wise, mixing, all of it. Because that Third Man live thing that I have, I will give them so much credit for mixing on site and doing a bang-up job of it, but you can almost hear the struggle.
Where was it recorded at?
At Third Man Records.
Oh, at the record?
At the pressing plant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they recorded it and pressed it while they recorded it. It was a one-shot deal.
One take. That's pretty impressive.
It is. The one thing that I kept mulling over as I was listening to this was, well, the song Leagues Beneath was the greatest example of it, in that there's that part, there's two different times where Pike's doing like his little finger tapping thing.
Right.
But whatever the hell. And in that recording, now in the studio version, you can hear what he's doing clear as day. In that recording, you can kind of sort of pick up on it, but that bass, between the bass, how they had the drums mic'd, and Pike's own volume, it's like meshed together to such a degree that it's like fighting a battle you are not going to win. The volume's just so goddamn great. I mean, it sounds amazing. It sounds cool, but you can hear it's like, okay, volume had a lot to do with this. You know, that stack of orange amps. Fucking, it kind of played against them as far as getting like the pristine mix.
Right.
But it was still, what they did with it was amazing, because the volume level those guys had should have just redlined everything. But it worked, and it worked well. So I'm curious to hear you in person tell me, what did it sound like?
I'm pretty excited because this is like, the last time I went to a concert was with you to go see Robert Plant.
Holy shit, that long ago?
Yeah.
Dude, my last concert was UFO, February 13th, 2020, right before the shit hit the fan.
Yep.
And you know what? If that's the last concert I ever see, I'm happy. I'm content with that. That's fine.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't get out much.
Clearly, neither do I. And I'm okay with that. But no, Sleep was one that I wanted to go. We were going to do it. And then, well, responsibility kind of woke us up and said, yeah, how are you going to pull this off?
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
It does, but at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, fuck, man. 40 the hard way. I had my glory. If I get a few more poignant moments now, those are blessings. But anymore, just I don't fall apart if I can't go to a concert now. I had my time, and it was an amazing time. And yeah, if I sign that time off with UFO, well, who better for me anyway?
Right.
And oddly enough, my wife has called that one of the best concerts she ever went to. And she's got a concert resume that's pretty impressive. No, she told me that last month. I said, are you serious, or are you just telling me that because you know I'm a total fanboy? She's like, no, it sounded like the records. I fucking loved it. I'm going, this is why I married you. You know, you gotta love that. But all right, so after Animals, we did Rockstar.
The movie. Yeah.
Yes, for our next podcast. And God, memories are fuzzy. I just remember. I'm trying to remember what the hell was even going on beyond that. I remember I wore a Whitesnake shirt to the thing, and you commented on, dude, you're wearing a Whitesnake shirt. I'm like, well, we're talking about an 80s band of sorts. I had to. That's about my only memory of it. I remember what we were drinking.
I don't fucking know. But that movie is always cool.
It is, because you have to take it for what it is. If you're taking it as a sincere portrayal, then you're going to be sorely disappointed.
It's one of the better rock and roll movies.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
There's been, a few that you see that are a little disappointing, but...
Well, if you look at Sid and Nancy, that was just a shit show. Mostly because they couldn't get the music to sound like it sounded like back then.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever see that Jimi Hendrix one?
Yes, I did.
With Andre 3000 or
Wait,
whatever? Was
he the one that played him in that?
Oh, there was two of them.
Yeah, because I saw one of them that I don't recall.
There's one that has... so you ever see that Remember the Titans?
I don't watch movies.
It's a Disney football movie.
I'm familiar with it, but no, I've never seen it.
One of the actors in that movie played Hendrix in one of the movies.
That's got to be the one I watched.
So obviously he's an actor, not a musician, so he pantomimed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I can tell. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, because that is the one, because I rented it from Hollywood Video when you were working there.
Yeah.
And so you were like, dude, don't.
The biggest thing, I think, if memory serves me correctly,
okay,
he played right-handed.
Huh?
I think.
What?
Yeah. It's like
whoever
wrote the movie or directed it or the crew
missed that one detail.
Couldn't get I think it would have been passable had it been like, dude, he played left-handed.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a few things that even if you're not a fanboy or even a remote music interested, I can't even put words together. Anyway, everyone knows Jimi Hendrix was left-handed. That's like common knowledge. My God, I don't recall that.
I like I said, for some reason I see it in my mind that way.
That's terrible.
I could just be full of shit.
Or, I don't know what they call that when you remember something that didn't happen, but you're convinced it did.
The Mandela effect.
That's it. Mandela effect. That's right.
Maybe it was just so bad I had to create a reason to not like it.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, it has. Because I know it was a long time ago I rented it. That was 2005 when I watched it. I only know that because it's the house I was living in at the time. But, duplex rather. But, all right, so Rockstar, then, oh God, what was after that? Let's go. I want to say Guns N' Roses.
I also want to say Guns N' Roses.
And if you'll hold on un momento. Get back here. Yeah, it was Guns N' Roses. Yep, that was probably the funniest one we did this year.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of how...
What's everybody?
Yeah, it starts off with What's Everybody. Okay. It just devolves into... That was the longest one we did, too.
Yeah.
Damn near 3 hours.
That drink, the Duff, man, that's no joke.
Oh.
Because we hardly drank.
Yeah, just
beforehand.
Well, all I know about that is oh man. All I remember about that is What's Everybody for one thing. For another yeah, I'm pretty sure that was February 13th because the next day was Valentine's Day. Which leads into the following reason why I can even remember it. For some stupid, inconceivable reason, I drove home out of here. I stopped at the store, picked up a bunch of groceries for the week, stopped over at my friend's house, had a drink with her, then came home, parked my car behind my wife's, not thinking to put it in the garage, and then it didn't start. On Valentine's Day, where let's just say it kind of ruined the holiday. Yeah. That's what I remember from that. It was very cold. I was very drunk, but the podcast turned out really well. I had a good time with it anyway.
Oh yeah,
clearly we did. My God, we were drinking Jack. We started off with that.
Oh yeah,
minis of Jack. I think we went through that bottle of vodka that I brought. And God, you brought something for senior, so I think we were drinking beer of some sort.
Could have been the Megadeth beer.
Yeah, the Stout Lemon or whatever the hell.
Maybe the Motorhead beer. I don't know. There's a Motorhead beer in the fridge here still.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm digging this Shiner Holiday Cheer in my, what the hell do we call this? Oh, the Aquarium.
The Aquarium.
But anyway, yeah, so Guns N' Roses, and then Dirt, I believe, was after that. Alice in Chains.
Oh, yeah.
That was another good one. Starting to warm up a little bit and gave me every excuse in the world to talk about dope and all that shit. That one I don't think went off the rails too bad.
It was Dirt and Facelift, wasn't it? We kind of blended them both together.
We did, because you wanted to do Facelift, and my opinion was, no, you can't not talk about Dirt. So we did them both. That was one of the better, more together ones I think we did.
Yeah.
Then after that was, we had a bit of a pause. I think it was Stone Age after that.
Hey, you got your phone open. Double check.
Well, let me check. Okay.
Taking notes.
Oh, God. Yeah, you want to talk about thinking you've escaped the hells of 2020. God, I was at work yesterday, last day of the year, and all this stuff for work. And you remember how 2020 I was always singing, taking notes and all that, the Luke Bryan knockoff or whatever the hell that I did. Well, the other knockoff or I didn't do a knockoff of it, but the other song that was torturing me to no end was, sorry Miranda Lambert, but her song Bluebird. I kept hearing all the damn time. I thought, okay, 2021, I've not heard any of these songs. I got out unscathed. Or fucking Bluebird yesterday at work.
Oh, figures.
Oh my God.
So that means your coworker obviously listens to some kind of country music, right?
He does, and he not only just some kind of country music, modern country music, bro country, Florida Georgia Line garbage.
Like that fucking Applebee's song.
Yes! Yes!
I hate that more than anything, I think.
I can't clock any of them that I hate.
There's another one. I don't even know what it's called, but they were talking about lollipops or something.
Huh?
Some country song was talking about fucking lollipops or candy.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
I'm in the shop at work working with a guy, and I was like, "Can I turn this? Do you mind if I shut this bullshit off and turn it to something else?"
Oh God, the one that and then I heard another one I thought it escaped was fucking Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, because they're fucking now, have to do a duet because that's what you do. Oh Jesus, it's like the standards have been so lowered that thank you Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
I was just gonna say,
for showing the world that you can write absolute dreck and everyone will think, oh, this is genius because it's a duet and it's so heartfelt. Oh, get the fuck out of here. The Blake Shelton Gwen Stefani one is just wrong on every level. One, because it's poorly written, and for another, because it's Blake Shelton, and for another, it's Gwen Stefani. They're just people that are not to be liked anyway. Gwen Stefani, just because I don't know. I just have an aversion to her. And then there's Blake Shelton, who's the epitome of everything I pretty well hate in fucking rednecks. All you have to do is listen to the song The Boys Around Here. And then you know why I don't like Blake Shelton. And I think it's probably...
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing a Willie Nelson sweatshirt.
I've been trying to... Your beard covers it. That's the whole thing. Oh. The hell does the top part say?
It says, have a Willie nice day. Willie Nelson there.
Speaking of Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger is an album I've been just lost in, I'd say, over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant.
It's good.
It is, and I got it from a guy I work with who had a box of vinyls that he gave me and said, here, I don't want these. All of them country, which there's nothing wrong with that. But the only one I picked out was Redheaded Stranger. So I thought, I keep hearing about how genius this album is. The fuck if it ain't genius. Mm-hmm. It's great. And it's also pure evidence of what Willie Nelson's favorite pastime is. Because if you're in that mindset, it's even better. Yeah. The notes needed taken, and I took notes. And it was brilliant.
I keep saying, all I want to do is smoke weed and listen to Black Sabbath.
An admirable goal. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm too responsible, and I don't get to.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I pick and choose, but yeah, the taking notes that really lent to Redheaded Stranger's whole fucking thing, and it works brilliantly. But yeah, so Redhead Stranger, I guess that was another vinyl that I got into this year.
It's pretty sweet.
But I'm still on the sleep train. You got me started last year. I can't get off it.
Yeah. Well, you know I have that vinyl subscription, right?
Right.
So
What'd you come up with this month?
This month was Uncle Acid.
Uncle Acid?
Yeah, it's a band called Uncle Acid.
Sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it.
It's definitely doomy. Kind of.
Right on.
And I think the month before that, I got Ghost.
God Christ. Can you tell me what the big thing with Ghost is? Because I'll admit I haven't even bothered. But I keep seeing them all the time.
So...
Worth the hype or no?
They're an acquired taste.
I see. All right.
So they're... Obviously, if you see them live, they're very theatrical.
Well, of course, corpse paint and all that shit.
Well, it's not just corpse paint. But
okay, face paint.
It's
makeup.
It's a different character the guy plays, like every record. He plays a pope.
Yeah, isn't one of them Papa something or other?
Yeah, all of them are 1 through 3 or some shit like
That's
that.
Right.
So he plays each one of these characters, and one's like, I think they're old. Like 1 and 2 are old, and 3 was like young, and that's how it's played.
Okay.
But then they killed them off.
Oh Jesus! All right.
There's like I said, it's very theatrical. There's like a backstory and a theme to it.
Well, you know what? In this day and age with the internet, if you could pull that off, I kind of have to salute it.
Yeah, that's part of their appeal is the backstory and the theatrics of it.
Sure. And you know what? Awesome.
So it's really weird. Like they're not the heaviest band.
Okay.
That you've ever, you would think you see them and it's like these guys must be like brutally heavy, right?
Nah, I don't think that anymore.
Well, they're not. It reminds me of like legitimate church music.
Oh, very okay. I know exactly. Well, like Norwegian black metal, really.
It's like church music, but instead of God and stuff, it's Satan
and evil. All right, fair enough.
Which I think is that's the clever part of them. Is it's like the music is like well written, and it's like, yeah, this would be like a fucking church song, but this guy's singing about the devil.
Extolling the virtues of Satan. Okay. And that's, to me, not an outmoded concept, really. But I see what you're saying, and it does beg a different discussion, really, in that when you talk about theatrics, if you could see me, I'm rolling my eyes and all this, but you know what? It wasn't that long ago that, you know what?
It fits in with, like, Alice Cooper and Kiss.
Sure.
They're, especially Alice Cooper, that's...
And if somebody can pull that off in this day and age, when there is no mystery left anymore, I gotta hand it to
That's
them.
the thing. So, like, the lead singer is the only person you know who it is.
Sure.
The rest of the band wear these masks that don't have a facial expression. They look like ghosts.
Okay, how sad is this that I, up till you just said that, had no concept of what that band looked like?
Yeah, they're not, like, you don't know who the members are. It could be anybody, and it could change every time they do a record.
Okay.
So they just have some dudes playing in the band.
Well, it goes to show that those theatrics, one way or another, are never going to go out of style. One way or another, somebody's going to do it.
Yeah.
And here's who I think is doing it now, as far as the shock end of it goes. Lil Nas X. You ever seen any of the shit that guy has put out lately?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, Lil Nas X. Let's give a quick rundown here. You recall the song Old Town Road?
Yes.
Yes, that's him.
Wait, wasn't that a country song?
Yes, it was. And that's the insane genius of this guy. I had said for years that after Marilyn Manson, he was the last of the people that could shock you. Because he had the benefit of the internet not really being a thing, so you didn't know shit about him. And he did everything, attack the church, extol the virtues of drugs, act gay or whatever the hell. Lil Nas X, on the other hand, and I only know of this because my kid is watching this nonsense. And I'm not going to be the dad who's going to say, no, that's bad, don't watch it. I'm just like, I'll let her decide. I'll let her figure it out. And if she thinks it's silly, good. If she's scared of it, whatever. I'll let her figure it out. But I have inadvertently watched a few of these videos, And this guy is wringing the chamois dry of anything that could offend you outside of pedophilia. He's black, for one thing, and whether America likes it or not, we're still a fucking racist country. Don't shake your head. Yeah, we are. I'm not talking to you, Chad. I'm talking to the audience. Yeah, we are fucking racist, and we all know it. We're also homophobic. This guy is gay as fuck. We also have an aversion to rap. Still, rap is still kind of seen as sort of dangerous. And nobody likes anything, flip it around again, that's gay. Lil Nas X, the last video that I sat through was him in an all-male prison with his fellow black inmates bumping and grinding on each other. They had to blur out the fucking full frontal male genitalia. And he had released a line of shoes, I think it was this year, with pentagrams on them that all sold out. He's going after fucking everything. Black, satanic, gay, and just fucking apologetic about it. I don't care for his music because it's rap. I don't listen to rap. Just a preference. But I almost have to give this guy credit for thinking, okay, Marilyn Manson, you thought you shocked people? Okay, a gay black man's going to do what you did, only going to do it with rap. Let's see who we can shock now. And I'm actually amazed that this guy hasn't created more controversy because it's all fucking there.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well, you're better off for it. Because it doesn't offend me. It's just like a waste of my time. It's like, okay, sweetie, you can watch this, but do you like it? No, I don't like the music. I think it sucks. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I like some rap, so
I don't. That's where it becomes preference. I can't say it sucks. I can just say I don't prefer it. But no, Lil Nas X, Jesus. It's like, where the fuck do you go from there?
But one of my favorite things I've seen this year,
what's that?
Speaking of rap or hip-hop or whatever, that Machine Gun Kelly.
Go on.
How he talked shit about Slipknot, and then, like, I don't know, played a festival with them, and then the fans just fucking threw shit at him and fuck Machine Gun Kelly, chants and stuff.
Yeah, he's another one that all credit.
So what I don't understand is like,
good.
So he attacked Eminem.
Okay.
In a song, right?
Uh-huh.
And so Eminem responded in Eminem fashion.
Oh, what? And talking shit.
Wrote a song.
Because that's what he does.
And it was good.
Well, let's face it. Let's talk about Eminem for a second. If he didn't talk shit, he would have no career. That's all his thing is. After the initial Slim Shady, white blonde guy captured the attention of every suburban and or trailer park white kid who had no hope but figured, okay, I have no talent, but neither does this guy, so he's my role model. He would not have been viable if he wouldn't have been picking feuds through song with everybody every few years. That's all he's got.
I disagree.
Do you?
I absolutely disagree.
All right, what's your viewpoint then?
I don't think that it's the picking fights with people. I think he's actually talented in the field he's in.
Really?
Yeah. One of the things that changed my mind about it was watching. So Mike Tyson does a podcast or set of interviews or some shit. You can find it on YouTube. Watch the one with Eminem.
No, I don't want it. Just give me the crib notes.
It's just something you gotta see.
But just tell me what happens. I don't want to invest time in this, Chad, but I will gladly listen to what your view of it is. Like I said, I respect your opinion.
And my opinion is to watch it to
get
the full effect. I could just tell you.
You're gonna pull a fucking sleep on me, aren't you? I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna have some newfound respect for him, and I don't want it.
You will have a newfound respect for him because he's not just a hack like you're kind of making it sound.
Okay,
I'm just saying, in his field, he's actually one of the more talented people.
Okay, I'm actually glad you said that because you made me have to dial it back a bit and say, okay, he probably is talented within that field. I can't say he's not because it's a field I don't invest time in. I just find it kind of funny that the main reason people talk about him is because, did you hear what he said? That just seems to be the crux of everything that he's leaned on for a while. I mean, even like his first video, My Name is Slim Shady or whatever the hell it is, was just nothing but like fucking, he threw Marilyn Manson in there, and then Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and all this. If it weren't for controversy, I don't think anybody would give a shit. It's just how I feel about him. I'm not saying he sucks, because I couldn't rap. I have no skill in that regard, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if you weren't, maybe picking a fight is the wrong thing, but picking a target. Every time he doesn't have a target, nobody hears about him until he does. And Machine Gun Kelly just gave him another boost. Okay, well, I'll attack this guy now. Okay, before that, I mean, Jesus, I don't know. When you talk about Eminem, it's impossible to talk about him without talking about what diss track he did, or something like that. Like, dude, fuck it. I'm sure you have talent. Rise on those merits, not who you can attack.
So I take it you've never seen the 8 Mile movie.
Fuck no, I have no interest in that.
Yeah, you should probably watch it.
Why?
Because it's a good story.
That's exactly what it is. It's a story, though. People think that's autobiographical. It's not.
Parts of it are. Parts of it are, and parts of it are exaggerated. And if you watch the Mike Tyson interview, you'll find out which parts are and aren't.
Oh, fuck you, Chad. I'm going to do this now, and I fucking hate you so much for it. Fuck you.
It'll be good for you.
I'm sure it will, and that's why I hate you, because then you're right.
Yeah, so...
Fine, you heard it here first. I fucking backpedaled. Everyone happy now? Brandon, I know you're listening. I know you're happy about it.
So, anyway, did you like that video I sent you about the Kid Rock thing?
You know what? I started watching it and I forgot. I got to go back and watch it, but I can about see. Give me a synopsis of what it is. I promise you I will watch it. You're not spoiling anything, but I want to know what they said.
Okay, what I like about it is the guy that's picking apart the song actually picks apart the music.
Right.
So he'll listen to the song and he'll go, "This is oh god." Well, one, it's Kid Rock, right?
Uh-huh.
So Kid Rock's known for taking and sampling other people's music.
Uh-huh.
So what was it? The one I sent you? What the fucking
All Summer Long.
Yeah, the one where he samples Skinnerd and
Warren Zevon. God, and I heard that song at work yesterday, and I thought of you immediately. I'm like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, so
now I have to listen to this direct.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, when I watched the first 5 minutes or whatever, when he started off and he just goes, oh, this is gonna suck. I literally just busted out laughing out loud and paused it. I went, yep, I am watching this because, yep, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, so he actually analyzes the song from sort of a musician standpoint.
Sure, and that's where you come in.
And he's like, well, one, he's just fucking playing 2 other people's song, and made a hit out of it. But then one of the things I thought was hilarious is that guy gets to he's like, okay, now there's a guitar solo. And then he's like, they fucking played it on the wrong key.
Wait, what? It's
in the wrong key. And he goes, it's just obvious that it's the wrong key. And then he pulls in, he has, what's his name from The Darkness?
Oh, Hawkins?
Yeah. Weigh in on it.
What?
Yeah. So
okay.
You have to go back and watch this video.
I am gonna watch this video. I absolutely.
He has that guy, the lead
Justin
singer,
Hawkins.
Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, on his show, and they're talking about how shitty this Kid Rock song is.
I can't wait because let's pick this song apart. All right, fine. Let's leave Eminem alone, whatever. Even though he did sample "Dream On" in that fucking '80s song "Toy Soldiers." That's why I have such a problem with rap, and it's the same problem AC/DC had when they said. They were asked at one point, "Are you going to let people sample your shit?" And they just flat out said, "Write your own goddamn song." That's how I feel about Kid Rock. Because the thing about Kid Rock is I think he has talent. I think he has all the right influences. He can play. I think he absolutely chooses to take the path of least resistance to the point where not only that song's so hot, okay, you put your dick in your hand and a pen in the other hand and wrote a song. That's how much effort you put into that garbage. That song is fucking horrible. But it was his horrible song.
Yeah, so he has this new song.
Oh, God,
newer song.
More?
I don't know. I learned about it from the same guy that the video I sent you.
All right.
And so it's some fucking Kid Rock song featuring a guy named Monster Truck.
Oh God, the one they thought was Weird Al because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, so
they thought it was a parody.
Yeah, so he analyzed the music in that too.
Oh, Lord.
And he's like, You fucking rip it off Soundgarden.
Okay.
Like the chorus riff, or like, you don't tell me how to live my life or whatever. It's like, it's Spoon Man.
Oh, God. All right. But no, the problem that I had so much with Kid Rock is the fact that I think I've always maintained my fucking conflict of interest with Kid Rock is cannot stand his music, but I think he'd be just awesome to hang out with.
I don't think so. He's getting fucking really right-wing crazy.
Well, I think now he's gone over the deep end. I think if you go back maybe 5 years or so, I think he would have been a cool guy to hang out with because, quite frankly, fucking, we'd have been listening to the same songs. Hey, do you want to listen to Bob Seger? Fuck yes, I do. How about Skinner? Hell yes, I do. You want a line? Yeah, I'll take a line. I just think he, at the core, would have been a fun guy to hang out with, and a lot of his core values I actually agree with. When they asked him, when Napster first happened, they asked him how he felt about it. He didn't get self-righteous. He just says, fuck do I care? I'm rich. And then when they asked him, well, what are your views, considering how right-wing you are, what are your views on homosexuality? He's like, why the fuck would I care? It's more chicks for me, you know? I thought, okay, that's a simpleton, but a simpleton I can hang out with. Now, the problem I have with him musically is the fact that while he does have talent, he actively chooses not to use it. But I'm sorry, not to sound like the old man on the mountain, but in my day, if you took somebody's music and put new words over it, that was a little thing called fucking plagiarism.
Well, that brings us back to Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Christ, yes, he got torn apart for that. But Kid Rock does it, and it's okay? No, it's not. What he did with All Summer Long was he took the music of one great song, Werewolves of London, the fucking music of another great song, Sweet Home Alabama, and tried like hell and failed to rewrite the Bob Seger song Night Moves, singing about some bitch he banged 20 years ago. First of all, and I love Bob Seger, how sad are you that that's what you're devoting your time to writing songs about? So too tall, could use a few pounds. You could use some dignity, dude. Why are you reminiscing over some bitch you banged when you were a senior? That's sad. That's the sad old man at the bar that Springsteen was singing about in the song Glory Days, which also sucks.
It's also his fan base.
Yes! That's the whole thing is, I found out the fan base when I went tubing one summer, if you will, and out camping as you do, which that's when you throw all fucking pompousness out the window. You're just having a good time drinking beer next to a campfire. And I kept hearing this voice that sounded sort of identifiable, but I couldn't place it because I didn't recognize the song. It was Kid Rock. These are the people that buy his music. And you know what? I kind of like these people. I just fucking can't stand his music. I just think really in all reality, he could do what he could do with it and do it well, but no, he's got to take shit that already existed and ruin it. I've said many times, how many times have I sat in a bar and I'll hear the intro to a song and it's either Warren Zevon and I'm going to like it or it's Kid Rock and I'm going to hate it. Dude, find your own music to ruin. You're not a genius for throwing different poor lyrics on an already existing instrumental track. You're not even trying at that point, and he gets away with it. That bothers me.
That he's not scrutinized more.
Well, that is just like, fuck it, what do we care? Whereas Vanilla Ice, Jesus Christ, that ended him with a bass line. And you know what? Honestly, if I had to pick between All Summer Long and Ice Ice Baby, I kind of like Ice Ice Baby more.
Yep.
I hate to say it because I hated it when it came out, when I was listening to Bob Seger. I don't know. I think in all reality, it kind of goes back to it's easy to be an armchair quarterback, but you know what? We're talking about them and they ain't talking about us. Kid Rock, y'all.
Fucking Kid Rock.
Yeah, and that's the worst part about him is, you know what? Good on him that he's making this living. It's just he's become so toxic now. You know, and the big part of it was Trump coming into power. All of a sudden, he can be the gun-toting Second Amendment fucking dick in your hand, fucking just absolute awful person, and all of a sudden it's legitimate.
Speaking of gun-toting dick in your hand.
Oh boy, Ted Nugent?
Yeah, I was sorting through my records because I bought a bunch of vinyl sleeves, you know? So
okay.
I kind of sleeved half of them and then didn't sleeve the rest. I bought a whole package, like 100 count of sleeves. So I was sorting through there, and I found a pristine copy of A Weekend Warrior.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything good on that album?
I don't know.
I
But on the cover, it's
with him with the guitar
with
that
his
turns into a
guitar
gun.
that looks like a shotgun. But I also discovered that I had 3 bitchin' Judas Priest records on vinyl that I didn't realize I had.
Yeah, you sent me those, or you sent me a picture of them anyway.
Yeah. How could I forget that?
I don't know. Same.
It's that British Steel, Screaming for Vengeance, and what's the other one? God, I can't remember.
It's Scream for Vengeance, British Steel, and Hellbent for Leather.
Hellbent for Leather, yeah. Like, how the fuck do I forget that I have 3 staples of metal right there?
Same way I forget that I had a bunch of Ted Nugent albums in my collection.
Well, so it's getting pretty bad that sometimes I buy the same record twice.
You've become that guy.
So I have... Well, I thought I lost or someone took my copy of Van Halen 1. So I was like, oh, man, I got to get another copy of it. So I bought another copy of it.
Oh, no.
And then I found that the other 2 that I...
The other 2?
Yeah.
Chad, dude.
So I have 3 copies of Van Halen 1.
I think I've got a way to solve your problem with that.
Spend more time with my vinyl records.
No, not even that. Actually, today, the reason why I was late showing up to the podcast is because I decided to take a little daytime hang time with my 14-year-old niece, Ariana, who, little lady after her uncle's heart, told me that she was, I asked her what she wanted for Christmas. I said, well, what are you even into, because I've been a horrible uncle. I haven't kept up for a few years. She said, well, I'm really liking music. I said, well, okay, well, what kind of music are you into? Thinking I'm going to hear a list of shit that I don't recognize. And she says, well, this type of music you and I listen to when we'd go on road trips. I said, I'm all ears. Name me some of the bands if you remember, sweetie. Oh, AC/DC, UFO. I said, stop right there. You already won. So what I did was I picked her up at her mom's house and bought her a turntable. One of those little all-in-one things, the wood-paneled shit that you get at Kohl's or whatever. Adequate enough.
Did it come with a cassette deck?
No, but it came with a CD deck.
Oh.
Come on, we're not savages here. But
Well,
which
the
CDs
reason-
are about as useless as
The
cassettes
reason
now.
I ask is because cassettes are making a
comeback, I know.
And I always fucking hated cassettes.
Cassettes are useless. They get eaten up. They wear out. They were fine when they were a thing, and now that they're not, we're all the more better off for it. But
I just don't. Yeah, well, I mean, I fucking collect vinyl records, so I
Because-
have no room to talk. But
they're making a comeback because people are bored. That's why. Because of the MP3, you're selling people air. There's nothing tangible.
what kind of have you seen? They're coming back with Polaroid cameras.
No, and damn well that,
motherfucker's $100.
damn well that's also people can take fucking inappropriate pictures. That's the only reason. Please, why else did anybody else buy a Polaroid?
Because that was like the main source of film at the time.
But anyway, back to my niece.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So yeah, I bought her this turntable contraption thing, and I started her off with 3 different albums. One of the bands that she mentioned was the Beatles, so I gave her my copy of the White Album, and gave her a copy of Paul McCartney's Band on the Run, and Kiss Dressed to Kill. I thought, okay, these are just albums that have been collecting dust. I had 2 copies of Dressed to Kill. I thought, whatever, maybe she'll get some enjoyment out of it. My God, it was like watching me at 14. She's opening these things up, looking through, oh my God, there are lyrics in here. I'm like, well, yeah. She was just engulfed in it.
Well, that's because that's what's missing.
Yes!
Like you said, when you buy an MP3,
you're buying air. Yeah.
There's nothing tangible about it.
So I took her to a local comic book shop, Oakleaf Comics, Mike and Carmen Tickle. You heard it here first. Great people, great shop. Go there, please. But anyway, so I found a copy of Dark Side of the Moon, bought her that, and oh my God, she was just lost. And I opened it up and said, well, tell you what, this is what a gatefold is. And I opened it up, she's like, wait, they do that? I'm going, yes, they do. And look, here's the production credits. You may not care about that, but here's the lyrics. They printed the lyrics. I'm going, yes! Tell you what, Ari, here's the greatest gift I could have given you. Get lost in music. You're gonna love it. She's already plotting albums I can buy for her now. And I thought, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And that's where I was like, you know what? Here's where the torch gets passed. I had my time in the sun with this, but I'd become almost jaded. It was just amazing, not to get cheesy on you, it was amazing seeing a 14-year-old like I was when I was 14, looking through liner notes and all this shit. And I thought I was a total fucking dork for doing that. No, I'm watching my niece do that. And her old man, my brother, got a hold of me and said, dude, Ari's loving the sound system. And then the next message is, okay, we're all loving it. I'm like, hell yes, dude. I said, that gift was as much for me as it was for you. I have someone to talk music with now. That's the amazing thing about it. And that's why vinyl is making a comeback, Chad.
Oh, it's been making a comeback for a while. Ever tell you about how I got my Van Halen records?
No, you did not.
So I went to a flea market right before vinyl really started taking off again. This was years and years ago.
Okay, ahead of the curve then.
I got every single one of them for $2 a piece.
You did tell me about that, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was telling my niece. One of the places she likes to go is Goodwill, of all places, just to find whatever she can. All right, that's great. So I said, well, while you're looking for clothes, I'm going to look at the vinyl. She says, well, what are you looking for? I said, well, probably a needle in a haystack. But here's the thing. You never know what you're going to find that somebody else may throw away.
Yeah, usually the Goodwill vinyl sucks.
Oh, they're horrible. They're awful because everyone figured out what we figured out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Go there and find out what people are going to throw away. Well, not anymore. You're going to get a copy of the Firestone Christmas album. That's
fucking there's just fucking shitloads of Christmas albums.
Right. Yeah, just the shit people don't want. But not for my part. It's like, giving her those albums that I gave her. The Beatles' White Album is a fucking amazing piece of work, a very valued piece of work. But all I could think is, I don't listen to it. It's not that it's awful. It's just I don't listen to it. So I kind of pass it on to somebody who would. Jesus. She picked up the second disc of that, put on Birthday, and my gosh, she was just engulfed in it. Holy hell, this sounds so great. I'm like, that's vinyl, sweetheart. You ain't going to get that from an MP3. You're getting all the little noises and everything else. That's vinyl.
Speaking of the Beatles.
What do you got?
You probably didn't watch it, but that documentary.
Oh, Get Back?
Yeah.
Got about 10 minutes into it, and even I have to admit, I was bored. Let alone my wife and my daughter.
Well, I've only watched the first part because time.
Sure.
I thought it was amazing. It's amazing to see. So, Paul McCartney comes in with, like a song idea, and you just sit there and you watch the man write a song that you've heard on the radio.
Just like seeing the process.
Yeah. In particular, it was what was it? Get Back.
Yep.
He sits down and he's like, just plays it. It's not even the song that you know.
It's just
the lyrics aren't complete, but the music's there, and it's showing it to everybody. And it's like, holy fucking shit, that's like magic happening.
I love that you said that, because that was the whole thing. Once again, going back to my niece, that was just the most awesome thing in the world to me. Just this jaded 40 the hard way guy just doing his niece a favor. And then I just enjoyed watching the magic of it, of somebody who's hearing this music the way it's meant to be heard on vinyl, looking at the gatefold sleeve and everything, and she's just, oh my God, this is amazing. And any asshole would just be like, it's no big deal. But I'm just like, I'm getting caught up in it with her, Like when I was at that age looking through my uncle's record collection and finding a UFO album or whatever, You're looking through all of that experience. But no, you talk about documentaries. I did watch another one on Sunday. Are you familiar at all with the name Graham Parsons?
Yeah. I watched a movie with fucking Johnny Knoxville.
What? What movie was that?
I can't remember what it was called, but they fucking took his body to the desert.
Yeah, oh yes, Joshua Tree burned it and everything else.
Yeah.
If you remember the name of that movie, let me know. I want to see it. But the documentary I watched was called, was it Grievous Angel?
I may have even seen that.
Or Fallen Angel, maybe. But no, it went into the whole backstory of the guy named Graham Parsons, who, for anybody who studies music, he invented country rock. There's no getting around it. He was also a spoiled trust fund kid who came from a horrific backstory, but it was really cool watching it and then kind of getting into his band, the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Oh, not to cut you off.
Please.
The movie was called Grand Theft Parsons.
I heard of that and I never watched it.
Yeah,
I do have to watch it.
It's actually pretty good.
But no, look up the Graham Parsons documentary because they just now finally got it on YouTube. It'd been blocked for years, but I think it was Fallen Angel. But anyway, yeah, they go into his whole backstory, and it's really quite amazing that what this guy was doing was playing traditional country music in the late 60s, which was very passé at the time. But Keith Richards was sure a fan of that. And when you get into Graham Parsons' backstory, of course the one thing that attracted me to it was the drugs. He died of a heroin overdose. But it was really kind of cool to sit there and dine on and listen to. But when you get into that band, the Burrito Brothers, they had a pedal steel player named, Christ, I already forgot the fucking, Sneaky Pete, who figured out that you could take a steel guitar and add distortion to it. And it just sounds fucking unworldly. I dove full on into that. I highly recommend you watch it. You being a musician, you would love it.
I want to say I've already seen it.
And say if you have, that's amazing.
Because I think it came out in like 2004 or something.
Yeah, it did. 2004.
And like I said, I want to say I've seen it because when I watched that movie with Johnny Knoxville, I was like, what the fuck? And then I think I saw that documentary shortly after.
Oh, the Graham Parsons story is unbelievably fascinating, and how far it reaches into like the Rolling Stones or the Eagles, because Bernie Leadon played in the Burritos, or even the groupie scene. Pam DeBar was a groupie for Graham or whatever. But the thing that got me about Graham Parsons was one of the clothing items that he wore were called nudie suits. Not as in nudity, but a designer named Nudie. He commissioned his first nudie suit, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't pick up of everything that was stitched onto this thing. 2 gigantic poppies, one on each shoulder, pot leaves all throughout the front,
and like lips, like kiss lips or something, kissy lips.
Not lips, but 2 naked women on the lapels, a cross on the back. But the thing that got me was on the sleeves. Pills.
Yeah, pills.
He had different pills, Nebutols, Secanols, and shit like that. I'm like, how the hell did I never spot that? And then I also thought, in the late 60s, how fucking ballsy are you to do that, Pot leaf is one thing, a poppy leaf, Jimmy Page did that, but pills? You put fucking pills on the sleeve of your fucking costume? I thought, Jesus, man, I don't know how great that is, but it's certainly...
It's something.
Well, it catches your eye and sticks in your mind. But yeah, Graham Parsons. So yeah, I did some time listening to him, but my little bit of aversion to him also is a personal matter. When I was living in Texas, in Austin, trying to start a band, going through the classifieds and all that shit, came across one guy who we tried to start writing together. And he just kept talking about Graham Parsons over and over again. Graham Parsons. And also, the type of guy that put up an ad in whatever, I can't remember what the fuck, Austin Chronicle, I believe it was. Put up an ad that said, Bobby blah, looking for na. And then at the very end, drugs are cool. And I just rolled my eyes and thought, Jesus, you are reaching. But then it wasn't long after that I figured out why this fucking kid was so obsessed with Graham Parsons. He was also a trust fund kid. He was somebody who moved to Austin with a guitar in his hand, whose parents were paying his fucking way every month. And, he wouldn't even play in a band with me because he's like, well, you're not what I'm after or whatever. But a few months after that, I ran into him at a Walmart of all places. And he went from being this clean-shaven, shaggy-haired kid to looking like Chris Robinson with a full fucking unkept beard, shopping cart full of fucking Goya beans or whatever. And I said, dude, what have you been up to? Well, I got this band called Black Feather. Black Feather, okay, fine, what do you do? Well, it's kind of just sort of country, Grateful Dead sort of stuff. And I look in there and I see all the Goya beans. Said, so, going vegan now, huh? Oh, yeah, it's kind of the thing. I'm just like, you are such a fucking poser. If you didn't have your fucking mommy and daddy's money to live off of, you would be begging in the street. You know, fuck you, go away. And that's what initially kept me away from Graham Parsons and why Graham was so hated in the scene that he was in. These people were living hand to mouth. He's taking limousines to $500 a night gigs. They fucking hated his guts. And you know what? Good. You know, it's not so much that you have to struggle to be artistic, but if you don't have money to worry about, that is gonna affect you. So for as well as, you know, as Keith Richards will still to this day sing the praises of Graham Parsons because he could make the waitresses cry because he was so sincere. Was he? Was he? Or was he just a really good actor?
Huh.
I think, quite frankly, with all respect to his talent, I think he was just a fucking good actor.
Yes, that's an interesting take.
No, that's an asshole take. But this is what I do.
Oh, where were we? Somewhere around Rockstar.
Right, so give me a second to check my notes here.
No. Rockstar.
It went from Rockstar to Alice in Chains, to the Stone Age.
Stone Age.
To what was after the Stone Age?
I can't even remember.
I want to say, without checking my notes,
Oh, you know what?
that it was... God, I don't even want to blow it because I want to fucking try to remember this. Stone Age to...
Don't worry, I have I have all of the.
It wasn't Tejas. It was something
It was
before
Tejas.
that. It was Tejas. Holy dude, we had a hell of a lag there. Because Stone Age was July 4th weekend, and fucking Tejas was last month.
Tejas was in October.
What?
Yeah, dude.
It had to have been the tail end of it.
Yeah, the 24th.
Okay, because I brought Jeremiah with me.
Yeah,
to that one.
see, I organize our episodes. I put them in a folder.
Well, that's good. But no, yeah, Stone Age, and then, yeah, Tejas, because I had the large denominations for that one. And oddly enough, I thought it helped. That was one of the more coherent ones that I've gone back and listened to and actually didn't cringe. But yeah, so, no, Tejas was the last one, and that was pretty well on brand. And I don't think we talked about that album for a combined total of longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
It's because we both have high praises.
Well, yeah, there was really no shit we could talk about.
Well, there really wasn't any shit, but it's like an oddball
Right.
ZZ Top record because it wasn't like real big.
Well, it brought it back.
But it was good.
Well, it brought it back full circle to what the whole intent of this podcast was to begin with.
Yeah.
Talk about either unknown or underappreciated albums, which started off with Black Sabbath, continued with a band nobody knows about called Sleep, and we just kept going from there.
Yeah.
This botanist gin is not bad. You want to pull?
No.
All right,
I
fair
had
enough.
my mixed drink.
Yeah, I should probably make that the last pull for a while. That whole driving thing and all that, but...
Right. And it's winter.
It is.
Winter in Iowa.
But...
Manfred Mann was right.
About what?
Stranded in Iowa.
That was a Manfred Mann song?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Really?
Really? They didn't really fall Fall. What's everybody? They didn't really
Let's
follow
everybody.
Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I figured they were more... They had their doo-wah-diddy garbage moment, and then they based their career off Springsteen songs after that. Which... Springsteen. Speaking of Springsteen...
The boss.
Boss of what? No, fucking... Actually, not so much vinyl, but what books did I read this year? For a lack of anything better to read, and because I was in the library and that's where I get my books anymore, I found his guitarist Stevie Van Zant's book. What the fuck was it called? Unrequited Infatuations. I got it because I had nothing else to read, and I thought, this guy, and he was on Bill Maher, so I thought, fuck it, I'll read this. I got to give him credit. He wrote a goddamn good book. He wrote a good book because I'm not a Springsteen fan, never have been, and I think it's safe to say never will be.
Yeah, I try my damnedest to not hear Born in the USA every time 4th of July hits.
Right. But yeah, I'm not a Springsteen fan, which by extension means I'm not a Stevie Van Zandt fan.
Unless you're a fan of The Sopranos.
Right, which I didn't know up until that book he was in because I never watched it.
Oh,
But-
yeah, that's
But I will,
mind-blowing.
but I will give that guy credit. He wrote a fucking great book. And he wrote a great book because half the time I disagreed with half of what he was saying. As far as he's concerned, rock and roll ended in the mid-'60s. And the only real rock and roll instrument is a saxophone, which I fucking hate. I'm sorry, if you're playing saxophone, you're either out of touch or you're soundtracking a porn. All right? That's what saxophone says to me. But,
There should be more saxophone and metal music.
oh, Christ, no, there shouldn't. But, no, fucking...
I bet it's out there.
Probably. But anyway, no, fucking... I'm reading this book, and while half the time I personally disagree with his views, I could not quit reading it. It was so well written, and that guy has led a life.
I'm going to have to check that out.
I
It's
think
funny.
you should.
It's funny you should bring him up because we were watching Christmas movies.
Okay.
And we watched the Santa Claus
Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that song that Kurt Russell sings in jail.
Yeah.
Which makes perfect sense.
And he's in it.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
Which makes perfect sense because it's so cheesy.
It reminded me of the Blues Brothers.
Yes.
And which is funny because, like I said, I was sorting through my vinyls, and I have briefcase
Briefcase
full
full
of
of
blues.
blues. Nice. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Seriously, I will say, Chad, read that book because it's so well written. And you're not just reading about music. He's talking about going on missions in Africa. The first chapter starts out with him laying under a blanket in a Jeep because white people couldn't go where he was about to be headed
Oh, wow.
to try to do some sort of media. The guy fucking, I tell you what, I give him credit. May not like his music. Fucking love his fucking standpoint, though. It's seriously a great book. I do not feel I wasted any time reading it. Even though, sorry, Stevie, if somehow you come across this, you're wrong. The saxophone is fucking cheesy and lame, and there's a reason it's relegated to where it's at. Stop extolling the virtues of the fucking saxophone.
All right, where does that factor into rock music? Because when I think saxophone, I think of jazz music.
Well, that's the whole thing is he took his opportunity, and it was his forum to say what he wanted. But that's the whole goddamn thing is rock and roll, rock music, as you and I have just done, is all a matter of fucking opinion. So when you sit there and say, oh, the saxophone is the end-all be-all, oh, shut the fuck up. That's like me saying rock and roll ended when Tony Iommi played his first riff and that's the end of it. Or there hasn't been rock and roll since Blondie. I mean, nobody gets to say that. Even I don't get to say it. As far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been an original thought since like 91. But how many fucking kids are going to say, oh, fuck you, old man. I like Black Veil Brides. You know what? They get to. That's their thing. No, that's what I wish Stevie Van Zandt kind of would have thought about. It's like, oh, well, the saxophone is the end-all be. No, it's not. Shut up. Shut up. Okay? Just stop that. That was the only thing that bothered me.
But maybe it is, though, because I can't think of any rock and roll songs with saxophone.
You know what? Any of them that I've heard, I personally have not liked. It's like, you know, some people can say, oh, the 70s was such a great artistic fucking palette or whatever. Fucking, I love the sound of a weird Muth synthesizer. I know a lot of people that hear that and go, God, that's horrible. Or people that will say, God, Motley Crue was such a joke. And I'll say, they were fucking great. Cinderella, oh, they were a glam band. No, they weren't. They were a fucking good blues band. It's all subjective. That's the only issue I had with that book. It was this guy just adamantly saying, my rock and roll is where it ended. No, it ain't. Dude, fucking no, it ain't. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the guy's own record label is called Wicked Cool. How cheesy is that?
Wicked cool.
It's pretty fucking cheesy. But you know what? He believed in it. But no, read the book, because
I'll definitely check it out.
if you can get past that, it's so well written that I can forget about the fact that I fucking cannot stand Springsteen.
Yeah, I'm reading the Eddie Van Halen book.
That book you will devour because there's so much gear talk in it, but at the same time, they didn't deify him. That's what I liked. They basically,
Which I think is the point. I
Right.
think that's what they sought out to do.
and they did. They didn't dance around the fact that this guy was a fucking alcoholic and a coke addict, and that he burned bridges. They didn't dance around that at all. They made it clear, but they didn't make it the focus. You know, basically at the end of the day, what they said was this was a flawed human being, but a technical and musical genius, and he really was. You know, I mean, that book was incredible. Also got from the library.
Yeah.
But no, the Van Zandt book, the fucking saddest part is the whole time I was reading that book, I had a Seth Meyers bit going through my head of when he talked about when Springsteen and Barack Obama got a podcast. Seth Meyers' take on it was just literally, I couldn't get it out of my head. He was saying, so what's this going to be like? Is this going to be like a call and answer thing with Steven Van Zandt? Glory days. They'll pass you by. I couldn't get that out of my head because I just thought Barack Obama trying to sing along with Springsteen, and you know how Barack Obama spoke.
Right.
Very measured, very well thought out. That's all I could think about. Glory days. They'll pass you by. I thought, okay, you just completely leveled the cheese level of that goddamn song, which is horribly sad if you think about it.
I don't want to think about it.
No, don't think about it, because then you're going to picture Bruce Springsteen screaming himself into an aneurysm about going to the bar and drinking and talking about some bitch he banged in high school. Which, once again, is just fucking sad, which leads to Bob Seger, who I love, but... And I even like the song Night Moves, musically. But when you dive into the lyrics, it's just sad. God, I don't want to remember anything I did in high school, let alone put it to music. But at least, how sad is your life that is the glory you're holding on to? And maybe that's the genius of Springsteen. Maybe he was mocking it the whole time. But I don't think of him as genius. I think of him as fucking overrated.
But he's the boss.
The boss. You know why he's called the boss? Because of Steven Van Zandt. That's in that book.
He named himself.
No, Steven Van Zandt kind of named that in sort of a sarcastic way.
Oh, you're the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Steven Van Zandt blew the whole Springsteen myth.
I see. It reminds, speaking of high school, reminds me of this one guy. He, you get your senior quote and whatnot.
Mine was "The trend is dead."
The trend is dead.
Can't imagine what I was listening to at the time.
I don't know. Can't tell. Well, this guy was
Nichols came from The Craft, if that makes you feel any better.
Was for some reason he created his own nickname and he wanted to be called the Duke.
Huh?
The Duke. I don't know if it was like a John Wayne thing or
fucking stool.
Fuck, I don't know.
Take a Duke, you know.
The Duke. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go on, please, God, go on.
Just that's the.
That's it.
That's it. Reminds me of Bruce Springsteen, like he names himself the boss.
Yeah, and that's the worst part.
And everybody's going, nobody fucking called you the Duke.
Yeah, Springsteen didn't invent that though. Steven Van Zandt. I can't remember what the exact scenario was, but something to do with their manager or whatever.
All right, you're the boss.
And kind of Steven Van Zandt was saying, yeah, this guy may be the boss, but this guy is the boss because everyone defers to him. Yeah, it wasn't like, yeah, I'm the boss, I'm the best ever, I'm the boss. It was like, yeah, let's all ask Bruce, he's the boss.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 40 the hard way if all of a sudden this became some national great thing. No, it's all born of a sarcastic remark that just took fire.
Right.
And that's actually what I was telling my niece about that. Apparently one of her dad's friends, she calls flip-flop. And I asked her about that. She said, well, he's over at Flip Flops. I said, flip-flop? What do you mean flip-flop? Apparently I don't even remember how it started,
this could go several ways.
It was just some offhand sarcastic remark that all of a sudden got ingrained in my 14-year-old niece's head that, oh, that's flip-flop. That's what I told her. I said, well, I'll tell you what, sweetie. Once you give somebody a nickname or once somebody gives you a nickname, don't ever act offended by it because that's the name that will stick. You're never going to get past that.
Yeah, thankfully mine is cool.
What's yours?
Chadwick von Tippitt.
A name you invented that just works.
I didn't invent that.
What?
No.
I thought you came up with that in some weird Facebook thing.
No.
Who the hell called you that first, though?
So this...
Story.
This wasn't the first time I tasted a beer, but...
Who are you, Officer Dean? All right, Dixie Cup Dean. Let's hear it.
So this wasn't the first time I tasted a beer.
All right.
So in my younger teen years, young teen, like 13, 14.
Teenage years.
Yeah.
Go on.
Wasted years. So I got invited to a party, quote unquote,
Yeah.
with at a guy's house with his brother and his brother's friends. They were older, obviously.
Okay.
And there was drinking involved. The Beast Ice.
This is an outrage.
So
The Beast. Milwaukee's best for those who aren't from
Beast.
Iowa.
That's right, the Beast Ice.
Jesus, rock, goddamn God. Go on.
Yeah, so it's awful beer.
I'm completely
But
throwing you off. Go on.
It was free beer. And that's my favorite beer. Favorite flavor's free.
Well, it's like cigarettes. OPs always taste better.
So
Better. Jesus God. What's everybody?
Bless everybody.
Okay, so anyway, get to
So
the
anyway,
bottom.
whatever. We're drinking, and it's right around the time that fucking movie A Knight's Tale came out.
I have no concept of that movie.
So there's this part in A Knight's Tale. Oh, basically the movie is about a guy who pretends to be a knight, forges papers. It's sort of a comedy kind of movie,
Yeah, I got you.
right? And Geoffrey Chaucer is his hype man.
Hype man.
So when he goes and jousts, fucking Geoffrey Chaucer comes out and hypes him up. Says this great big spiel about he's Ulrich von something of Liechtenstein, and the people I was around being drunk assholes. One guy stood on the couch and said, was mimicking that to me. They call him Chadwick von Tippitt of Liechtenstein. And then he drunkenly falls off the couch, and everybody, throws beer cans at him or
You
whatever.
fucker, you have the greatest nickname story ever. I've never gotten a stand on a pedestal introduction to me ever. Never happened.
So it stuck.
Of course it
from-
didn't. It should have.
From the people that were there, it stuck, and then it spread, and that's been my moniker since.
Yeah, I heard it here first. That's where it came from. And what a story.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
All because of Milwaukee's best.
Oh, God. The only thing that happened to me as a result of Milwaukee's best is my father yelling at me after a few too many.
Yes.
Milwaukee's best.
Milwaukee's best. I always thought it tasted like a tuna fish sandwich.
It's fucking horrible. That's what an alcoholic buys because they need to get their fix.
They need to drink.
Right. Yeah, come to find out.
Well, us, we're a bunch of teenagers. What do we fucking know? It was the cheapest 12-pack, 24-pack we got. I don't know
Right.
what it was, $9 at the time.
Hell if I know. I just know that Natty, natural ice,
Oh,
natural light. That was another one that
gross.
fell into that.
Fucking rednecks and their natty ice.
Well, that's us, really, if you
Nope.
think about it.
Not a redneck.
Well, why do you think I started drinking Heineken? Number one, like we talked about last year, type O negative. I saw them drinking Heineken. I thought, oh, it was cool. I'll imitate my heroes. And the other one was because, I got to do something to stand out amongst these people.
Yeah.
And it's still this says, what, you're drinking Heineken? Well, what do you drink? Budweiser. Fuck.
Natty ice.
Natty, oh, Jesus.
Bush lattes.
God. Yeah. Oh, fuck it. Well, and you know what? Nothing wrong with people that love their acquired tastes or stick with them. Guy I carpool with. Oh, God. One of the words on this bottle is aquatica.
The Aquarian.
Sleep had something to do with this, God damn it. Aquatica, Aquarian. Oh, yeah. But anyway, no.
Hey, the conspiracy runs deep, my
It
man.
does. It does. The botanist. Why the hell else would they name this the goddamn botanist? I'm investigating this.
I don't know, but it is tasty.
It is. But anyway.
Oh, I see your peer pressure.
Yeah, you fucking right. Uncork that bad.
I got a little bit of ice left in there.
I can't be the only one here. But anyway. No, my carpool guy. I'm just going to say Nody. And you can imagine why. And Nicole actually gave him that nickname. But anyway. No, we had to stop at the store on the way home. Oh, man. I was in the Christmas cheer spirit, so I said, well, I'll tell you what, man. Merry Christmas. Just pick out a case of whatever you want. It's on me. He grabs a case of Natural Light. I said, dude, what are you doing, man? It's on me. Get something good. Get Bud Light or something. No, this is what I want. I went, really? I'm footing the bill on this.
I'll offer
You
a
don't
fucking
have to worry
steak
about
and you
this.
get the goddamn meatloaf.
That's just it. I'm like, dude, seriously, it's not a thing. Get what you want. I don't care. honestly, I'd want you to get something expensive. It's like, no, I want this. Okay. Yeah, wanted the Natty Light. And that's cool. That's cool. So, yeah, apparently, I don't know. And he's from Utah, so it's not a Midwestern thing for him. But
do they drink beer in Utah?
They do a lot in Utah. We just don't know about it because they cover it up with the whole Mormon thing. But anyway.
Is that a place we should visit? Utah?
No, I don't want to go to Utah. I don't want to go to Utah. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm old and lame. I'm cold and frightened. Leave me at home with leave me at home with a box of notes and whatever the fuck, and I'm fine.
Box of notes.
Yeah. Well, notes need taking notes.
I'm kind of excited to go to Colorado. I don't know what kind of dispensary I'm going to hit.
I'm excited for you. I'm completely living vicariously through you. Number one, because I want to know what the hell sleep was like in person. And number two, dispensary, I highly recommend edibles, and I highly recommend...
yeah, I don't smoke.
Well, what is it you're after? More of a body buzz or a mental buzz?
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, study up on it.
Study up on it.
No, seriously, I think you're probably an indica kind of guy. The body buzz without the head trip. Sativa can leave you a bit more paranoid.
Yeah, I don't need the paranoia.
Then go indica. And go for Camino. That's a great brand. Or cookies. If you can find cookies, get the fucking cookies.
Yeah.
Seriously. I've been a lifesaver.
I'm debating whether I should go see the show sober.
Go sober, all right? Honestly, go sober.
Or it's part of the experience to be altered state.
Nah, I'll give you my opinion, mind you. If it were me out there, I wouldn't be going under the influence of any notes. You were the one that converted me, because remember when we first reviewed the sciences and I told you, I took notes and blah, 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 and you're like, nah, I was straight. Well, I'll tell you what, I would rather listen to sleep straight than note it up. No, seriously.
Because it's frightening?
Kinda, yeah. No, kinda, yeah, because, I mean, seriously, if you listen to Leagues Beneath when you're...
Wow.
Yeah.
So, that was... Woo.
Well, potent. But no, when you listen to Leagues Beneath under that influence, you're going to feel like you're turning into a fucking sea creature on the bottom of the ocean. That's how good that band is. Dope Smoker? Oh, yeah, you're trudging through the goddamn desert with a bale of fucking weed on your back. You know, honestly, you and I being the music fans that we are, you being the musician, me being the fucking everything else, you don't need the notes to enjoy that band. And in fact, the notes kind of get, I can't believe I'm saying this, they kind of get in the way of enjoying that band. Go there straight. Have a beer, whatever the fuck, but go there straight and enjoy it from that perspective, because that's your perspective.
Yeah.
You don't need anything to accentuate that experience. Take notes after, but go in there straight. That's my...
Definitely after. Not before. I might get lost.
Honestly, Chad, if I was going to that, there'd be no way I'd be going under the influence. I'd want to be, as clear-headed as I could possibly be to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's sort of my thing when I go see bands play, though. I like to be coherent.
Right. Dude, I've been too fucked up at too many shows to know that, it doesn't add to it. It takes away from it. No. You're seeing Sleep, and maybe the only time you ever see him. Go in there clear-headed.
Yeah, it's so rare that they play, so...
Right, and I'm still holding on to the fucking futile hope that somehow they'll at least get within Nebraska or something.
Yeah.
Which they won't. But maybe they will. I don't know. If somehow the algorithms lead Al or Matt or Jason to this podcast, come to the Midwest. There are a lot of people here that love you. We want to fucking see you. I'll fucking goddamn smoke a joint with you afterward. I don't care. I can't make Colorado, though. I'm old and lame.
Yeah.
And you guys are 10 years older than I am, so you should understand that. All right, so
speaking of sleep,
what do you got?
My Christmas gift to myself
Ooh.
was I got a new beanie. I got a pair of sleep socks.
You showed me all of this.
And I got the Christmas ornament this year.
I have never in my life up to this year been in ornament envy. until I saw that.
Yeah, I'm a little upset with myself that I didn't order the marijuana knot last year.
Nah.
But I got the dope smoker guy.
Yes, you did the Weedian.
Yeah.
Hey, and I tell you what, if you want to feel somewhat cool amongst the younger people, I showed my 20-year-old stepson that, and he thought that was awesome. And then he asked me why I didn't have one. I'm like, I don't know, because I suck. I'm your stepdad. I have to be lame at some point.
Because I didn't buy one.
No, I didn't. But no, he loved that, and I was like, I want that.
It's cool.
It is.
It's very fragile and made of glass, though.
And your placement of that thing next to the goddamn
The camel.
underneath the conveniently green branch of the fucking tree.
Oh, man. Do you know how long it's taken me to find a camel fucking Christmas ornament?
It was perfect, though. That one picture was perfect. All I could hear was, proceed the weedy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nazareth. Yeah, so no, it knocked it out of the park. But me, for my part, I was happy with the fact that yesterday I came home and was like, hey, Josh, look what came in the mail. There's a box of the fucking Sleep Live at Third Man records. I fanboyed. I was like, oh, yeah. God, baby, I love you. Thank you. I'm not going to make you listen to this, but thank you.
That's awesome. You like it even more than the Sciences, huh? The gatefold on that's pretty rad.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I haven't got to dive into the whole thing. I got about halfway through it. No, put it this way. I've realized and I recognize that sleep is not for everybody. So as soon as my wife and my kid decide to go to the gym, I'm like, all right, you two go do your thing. I'm listening to sleep. I'm not even lying to you. So yeah, I just sat there and dove into that album until they came back home. It's like, fuck, man, I got one more album left. I'll listen to it later. But it's just realize sleep is just an acquired taste, and I get it. I don't think anybody sucks for not liking them, but at the same time, I feel all the better for liking them. That's how I see it. All right, so
I guess Matt Pike has a new solo record that's going to come out.
I saw that, and
I'm curious to see what it's all about.
I know there's a lot of different instrumentation involved in it.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? Good on him, man. So your wild oats. You're either going to be simplistically Lemmy or complicated, whatever the Hawkwind. Which I find hilarious. They opened for Hawkwind at one point.
Yeah.
Early 90s, wasn't it?
Sleep did?
Sleep did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, High on Fire, shit. But no, Hawkwind did. And that's what I love about the band Sleep is if you take the main components of that band, which is Al and Matt. Al, when he had to do his thing, does Ohm.
Yeah.
Which included, what was it, a 6-hour concert in Egypt? Or was it Jerusalem?
So, one of those. I can't remember.
I think they went to the Holy Land and played for 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
Where you got Matt Pike fucking doing this fucking Motorhead on goddamn amphetamines. Well, more amphetamines than Motorhead. Fucking project called High on Fire. But you put those two together and God, they make it work.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like how you and I work, you know what I mean? Which is fucking great. You have the musical knowledge and I have, well, whatever the hell I have. But it works. And that, I think, is why I love Sleep so much. It's because it's this combination of all these different esoteric fucking things that Al's throwing at it, whereas Matt Pike's just fucking let's play some riffs without a shirt on. But goddamn does it work.
Yeah.
And you can hear that in that fucking Sleep Live at Third Man, you know.
Right.
You know, you got Al just doing ungodly things on that bass. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's crazy to think about. Like, they formed when Matt Pike was like 15.
Yeah, they were kids.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I think the secret weapon to that band is their drummer.
Well, they got a different drummer playing with them.
Right, Jason. And I think he's the guy because if you listen to Holy Mountain, it's good, but it's not quite there. If you listen to even Dope Smoker, it's fucking great, but there's something sort of missing. But then you get into the Sciences. I remember messaging you last year and saying, I think my favorite fucking drum tone is the Sciences. It's that guy. It's Jason Reeder. He's just fucking hard-hitting, unbelievable. And how is this guy so fucking stoned and still able to play with this intensity? He's the guy. Much like Dave Grohl was for Nirvana. The drummer's the engine, man. And that's where, you know, our band Sublimate, you know. Dan Logan. Whatever you want to say about him, that guy's fucking incredible. Dan, if you're listening, absolutely love you, man. Don't forget it. All right, so we gonna wrap this up because I think we probably should.
Sure.
All right, so any final thoughts on the year 2021, Chadwick? Von Tippitt.
Oh, I can't wait for it to be over.
I can't believe it's almost over.
Yeah, you know, it did go awfully quick considering.
It really did. But I don't know. In the end, I don't know what the hell happened. And that's why we're calling this podcast The Hell Happened. I'll tell you why. Just so I can get this out of the way. The reason why I remember messaging you this, and the reason why we're going to call it The Hell Happened, is a result of 2020 and everybody being locked at home and me being forced to watch fucking Rock of Love, right?
I don't think anyone forced you to watch Rock of Love.
If you know anything, well, you do know anything about having a wife and a daughter. I had no choice. I deferred. But anyway, there was one point where during the first season, Bret Michaels, which I'm convinced everything about this shit was fucking contrived and scripted and everything else. There was one moment where I think he cracked from it all. And it was when there were 4 of these, whatever the fucks, that were hanging out with him, the contestants, if you will, the finalists. They went to some show of his.
Suitor number 2.
Right. And Bret went to go to his dressing room probably to get blown or whatever the fuck. And the girls are hanging out with his touring band. And when he comes back out, they're smoked, hammered drunk. One's crawling on the bar, the other's throwing up, the other one's just sitting there calmly eating, and the other one's looking pissed off. And they cut to Bret's fucking pre-recorded commentary on the whole thing. And this was the one moment that my kid will replay over and over again to watch me crack up because I can't help it. And there's Bret, and that's when he finally loses his veneer of the fake southern accent and the put on or whatever. He starts off going, I left these girls with my band. And then he just cries and goes, the hell happened? Like, he just completely loses it, like every father has ever lost it, like every fucking frustrated boyfriend has ever lost it. He just, the hell happened? Not even what the hell happened, but the hell happened? And every time that clip plays, I can't help but laugh uncontrollably, just like that. That's why we're calling this podcast 2021. The hell happened?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about this year. The hell happened? And I don't even know.
Well, hopefully next year will be a lot better. Because we're going to keep doing this.
Yes, we are. Why? Because
we gotta.
Because we fucking want to. And you know what? We gotta. You gotta revisit those old classics, those old chestnuts, if you will. You gotta listen to us get drunk and wax poetic on our personal lives or whatever. Or me anyway. And Chad just go, Jesus, God, get on with it. We have to. Y'all dig it. We dig it. And quite frankly, it's self-serving. We're selfish. We're doing this for us. Why? It gives us something to do.
Yeah. And we have a good time doing it.
You fucking right we do. So, on that happy note, this is Joshua 40 the Hard Way, Lee Johnson.
Chadwick Von Tippitt.
For one more.
The last time.
Asta, and Happy New Year.